Right now, someone weaker than you is winning. Why? Because they project certainty and you don't. They speak with unwavering conviction, without a shadow of doubt, acting like they deserve everything that comes their way, and the world buys into it. They don't hesitate. They don't overthink. They don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect words, the perfect feeling. They act now, without hesitation. They know exactly what they want, and they go after it with relentless pursuit. Meanwhile, you hesitate. You overanalyze every move, questioning your every decision, fearing that you'll make the wrong one. You wait for some sign, some divine intervention, to tell you that it's the right time to act. But while you wait, someone else swoops in, takes what could have been yours, and leaves you behind, wondering why you were left standing still. Confidence isn't just a trait, it's a weapon. It's something that can either build you up or destroy you. It's sharp, it's focused, and it's a tool that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. If you don't carry confidence, someone else will wield it against you. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago when he wrote about power and control. He knew that the bold would always get ahead of him if they lacked skills, experience, or the ideal circumstances. The bold move forward, they act, they conquer. But the hesitant, the cautious, the fearful, they fall behind. They are left behind because they never took the first step, never claimed what could have been theirs. Power does not belong to the best. Power belongs to the most certain, the ones who act without hesitation, without doubt. Power doesn't care how much you know, how much you have, or how much talent you possess. Power is given to those who have the confidence to take it. The world moves fast, and the ones who are sure of themselves, the ones who don't hesitate, are the ones who get what they want. They may not have the skills, they may not have the experience, but they have confidence. And that is the one thing that separates the winners from the losers. This isn't about motivation, about feeling good, or about following some simple steps to success. No, this is about control. Power over your life, your destiny, your decisions. Confidence is control. When you embrace it, you take control over every aspect of your life. You learn how to silence doubt, silence hesitation, and make decisions that will move you forward. You learn to speak like a ruler, to carry yourself with the confidence of someone who expects to be obeyed. When you walk into a room, you don't ask for permission. You demand attention. You don't wait for the right moment, you create it. You don't wait for people to believe in you, you make them believe. You don't wait for others to give you validation, you validate yourself. Watch closely now, because from this moment forward, your weakness will no longer be tolerated. It will be replaced with confidence, with certainty, with strength. You will never allow yourself to hesitate again. You will move like someone who knows exactly where they're going and how to get there. The world will bend to your will because you will no longer wait for it to come to you. You will go to it. You weren't born weak. You were made that way. You were conditioned by the world around you. From a young age, you were taught to obey, to seek approval, to ask for permission. You were told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. You were raised to fear judgment, to question your own worth, to doubt your abilities. You were made to believe that you weren't enough, that you didn't deserve success, that you had to wait for others to tell you that you were ready. But here's the truth. You were made to be something more. You were made to be powerful, to be bold, to be unstoppable. That voice inside your head, the one that hesitates before every decision, that second guesses every choice, that apologizes before speaking, that's not the real you. That's the servant within, the one who's been conditioned to please, to obey, to seek validation. It's the part of you that's afraid of making a mistake, of failing, of being judged. But that voice is not who you are. It's the reflection of a life that's been shaped by fear, doubt, and insecurity. And if you don't kill that voice, if you don't silence that inner servant once and for all, you will never be free. You will remain trapped, caught in a cycle of hesitation, of waiting for the right moment that will never come. You will continue to second-guess yourself, to look around and wonder why others are moving forward while you stand still. You will continue to wait for the world to give you permission to act, but it will never come. The world will only give you what you're willing to take, and you will only take it when you have the confidence to claim it. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to stop hesitating. It's time to silence the inner servant and become the ruler of your own life. You have the power to make decisions, to move forward, to take control of your destiny. But first, you have to believe in yourself. You have to trust that you are worthy of everything you desire. You have to stop asking for permission and start taking what is rightfully yours. From now on, you won't hesitate. You won't overthink. You won't wait for the perfect moment. You will move forward with confidence, with certainty, and with the power to shape your own future. This is your time, your moment, and it starts now. Machiavelli didn't whisper. He didn't wait for approval, for permission, for a polite nod from the world. He commanded. His words didn't tremble. They struck like iron. He didn't wait to be understood. He acted boldly, without hesitation, and let the world catch up. He didn't ask for power. He seized it because he knew the harsh truth. Those who ask for power, those who seek it with trembling hands, don't deserve it. Power isn't a gift, it's a conquest. And those who ask merely beg. Your transformation begins with inversion, a sharp shift in your way of being. Every time you feel the instinct to shrink, you expand. Every time your mouth opens to explain yourself, you close it. Every time your mind screams to apologize, you stop and you stare instead. Dangerous confidence isn't born from feeling ready, from some warm, secure thought that it's your time. No, it's born from doing the very thing your inner servant would never dare. It's born from taking the leap when the world tells you to stay still. It's born from doing what scares you, what challenges you, and what the world believes is impossible for you. You walk faster with purpose. You take up space because you have every right to. You stop nodding and you stop shrinking into the background. You stop softening your tone, turning your words into gentle suggestions. You speak like your words are decisions, absolute, non-negotiable decisions. You speak with the weight of authority. You speak as if the world must listen, and it will. Confidence isn't just a mindset, it's an identity. It's who you are, at the core of your being. And that identity is forged in defiance, not against the world, but against the version of you that still wants to serve, the version that hesitates, apologizes, and asks for approval. The old version of you, the weak version, must be buried, and it must be done so without mercy. So, here's your first rule. If it makes you small, kill it. A thought, a habit, a person, kill it. If it makes you hesitate, face it head on and eliminate it. If it makes you weak, rip it from your life. If it begs for validation, if it tries to seek approval or acceptance, laugh at it, mock it, and then leave it behind. The world will tell you to be kind, to be polite, to play nice. They'll tell you to temper your emotions, to hold back your power, to make yourself small in the name of courtesy. But here's the cold, harsh Machiavellian truth. Nice men are tools. They are used, abused, discarded, and forgotten. They may be loved in the moment, but they are always replaced by someone who is bolder, more certain, and more decisive. Nice men don't rule. Powerful men do. Powerful men aren't nice. They're precise, measured, controlled, and calculated in everything they do. They make decisions that others are too fearful to make. They control the narrative, the room, and the destiny of others. And it all starts with slaughtering that voice inside you, the one that whispers, be nice, the one that tells you to wait for permission, the one that seeks to be liked, to be accepted, to be loved. That voice is the servant, the weak version of you. And until you destroy that inner servant, you will never be free. You will never rise to the top. Power doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who claim it, who take it by force, and who never ask for permission to do so. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You need only one thing, the willingness to become feared not by others, but by your former self. Because once you kill the servant inside you, the ruler awakens. Powerful men don't announce their arrival with grand gestures. They don't scream for attention, don't demand recognition. They arrive with presence not through their voice, but through their silence, their stillness, their stare. The room shifts when they enter, not because they've spoken, but because their very being commands respect. They don't need to be known, they don't need to be liked, and they don't need to be approved of. They are self-sufficient, All they need is to create a subtle but undeniable shift in the atmosphere when they walk into a space. That's how a man moves when he owns the room. It's not because anyone told him he does, or because of some title given to him by others. It's because he behaves like he's always owned it. He carries himself as though he has never been questioned. He doesn't need the approval of anyone, because he's long past needing it. He behaves as if the space around him is an extension of his authority, something he has effortlessly earned through his mere presence. Machiavelli understood this principle deeply in the royal courts. He knew that the ones who truly ruled weren't always the kings. Sometimes it was the man in the corner, the one who barely spoke, the one who didn't seek attention. But when he did speak, when he chose to step into the spotlight, the entire court leaned in, hanging on to every word. His power was in his silence. Silence, you see, is control. It's the ultimate power because it draws others in. It forces them to wonder, to question, to crave. Those who remain silent are the ones who can manipulate the narrative, who can shape events with a few well-chosen words or with nothing at all. You think talking makes you dominant. It doesn't. It makes you predictable. The man who fills the room with noise, who dominates every conversation, becomes a prisoner of his own words. Everyone knows what to expect from him. He's the loudest, the most obvious. But the quiet man, the one who says little and observes much, is the real threat. No one knows what he's thinking. They can't predict him, and that uncertainty creates power. When you walk into a room, you don't look for permission. You don't glance around for approval, trying to gauge the room's mood. You don't seek the approval of others. You observe, you absorb, you watch people, you listen, and you allow the others to rush to prove themselves. In the meantime, you calculate. You take your time because you know that time itself is power. You understand that in the stillness, in the silence, you are positioning yourself as the one who will eventually strike when the moment is right. Your posture speaks long before your mouth does. Every movement, every glance, every gesture is calculated to reflect calm confidence. You don't rush. You don't fidget. You move slowly, deliberately, not because you're uncertain, but because you're in no hurry. You know that predators don't sprint unless it's time to strike. Until then, they wait. They bide their time. They remain calm, composed, ever ready. The power lies in the stillness, in the control of your own presence. You don't need to make a show of your strength. Your strength is evident in your restraint. You're ready to strike, but only when the moment calls for it. In the end, the true measure of power is not how loud you are or how much you speak, but how much you control the energy around you without ever saying a word. When you learn to master silence, you master the room. When you learn to move like a predator, to strike only when necessary, you become the one everyone else has to reckon with. Power is not a display. Power is an aura, a presence, a command. And once you understand that, you will never again have to ask for permission. Most people don't even realize how fast they move, how fast they talk, how often they interrupt, because they're trying to impress. They're still beneath someone else's judgment. They speak quickly. They rush through their words. They try to cram their ideas into a conversation, all because they're desperate to be noticed. They're still trying to prove they belong, trying to gain approval from those around them. It's a pattern of self-doubt and insecurity, one they don't even recognize. They don't understand that speed, that urgency, is not a sign of power. It's a sign of fear. Fear of being overlooked, fear of being ignored, fear of being unimportant. But when you walk into a room like you own it, when you've mastered the art of calm and control, you don't need to speak quickly or loudly to be heard. You don't speak to impress, you speak to decide. Every sentence that leaves your mouth carries finality. Every word you speak sounds like a conclusion, a decision made, a command issued. People don't just hear you. They feel your words settle in the room, like an unshakable truth. Your presence commands them to listen. They stop questioning you and start recalibrating themselves to your energy. They start adjusting, trying to match your certainty, because they feel the weight of your presence. You are not someone who seeks approval. You are someone who has already chosen himself, and that power is magnetic. And when others speak, you don't rush in to fill the gaps. You wait. You give them the space to reveal themselves. You let them go first, because their words will tell you everything you need to know about them. their fears, their desires, their weaknesses. The one who talks first often reveals the most. They show you what they're trying to protect, what they're trying to hide. And when you understand that, you can bend them to your will. You don't chase energy. You create gravity. You draw people in, not because you beg for attention, but because your presence demands it. At this level of confidence, it's not about being liked. It's not about fitting in or being adored. It's about making others question their own place in the room. It's about forcing them to second-guess themselves, to doubt their own worth, just by standing near you. You don't need to try to impress them because your confidence, your stillness, your very being makes them feel like they have to measure up to you. You carry yourself like you've already won, like the game is already over and you've come out on top. Not arrogantly, not with a sense of entitlement, but with the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need to compete. You've already chosen yourself. You've already claimed your spot in the world. You don't need anyone's permission, anyone's approval, or anyone's respect to feel powerful. If they respect you, good. If they don't, better. Because indifference to approval is the final form of power. It's when you no longer need the validation of others to feel whole. You've already validated yourself. You've already chosen your path, and now the world simply follows your lead. You stand in your power, unshaken, unwavering, because you know that the only approval that matters is the one you give yourself. When you walk into a room, there is no need to announce your arrival. Your mere presence speaks volumes. The energy shifts before you even open your mouth. The room recalibrates itself, unconsciously drawn to you. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fill the space with noise. Your silence is louder than any words could ever be. Your calm, your composure, your confidence, it all creates an aura around you. Others start to adjust, start to lean in, start to recognize the power you exude. And that is when you know you have control, not through loudness, not through force, but through your own stillness, your own quiet dominance. You are not competing with anyone else. You have already chosen your place in the world, and you stand there firmly. You are no longer swayed by the opinions of others, by their judgments, by their approval. You are the one who sets the standard. You are the one who decides what happens next. The world shifts to meet your energy, not the other way around. And that is the ultimate power. To be so certain of yourself that the world has no choice but to follow your lead. If the room wasn't yours when you entered, by the time you leave, they'll remember it like it was. Not because you demanded it, but because you didn't have to. You didn't make a scene. You didn't shout, stomp your feet, or force your way in. You didn't make a spectacle of yourself. No, you simply walked in like you've always belonged, like the room was made for you. You didn't claim it. You just took it with your presence. When you enter a space with the certainty of someone who knows they own it, the room shifts in your favor without a single word. It's like the universe already knows who you are and bows to you without question. The room doesn't remember you because you forced yourself to be noticed. It remembers you because you made it feel like it always belonged to you. Words aren't just sounds, they are weapons. And most men speak as if they're asking for permission to exist. You can spot them a mile away. It's in the rising tone at the end of every sentence, as if they need reassurance that what they're saying is okay. It's in the nervous chuckles, the hesitation, the repeated, I think maybe ... I'm not sure. They talk as though they're apologizing for taking up space, for having an opinion, for being present. They're constantly second-guessing themselves, allowing doubt to leak into their voice. That's not speech. That's self-sabotage. That's giving away your power before you even speak a word. Machiavelli knew the truth. Power isn't always in what you say, but in how you say it. It's not about filling the air with words. It's about the energy behind them, the weight they carry when you speak with certainty. When you speak like you cannot be denied, like your words are final. People don't analyze your words. They don't break them down or search for hidden meaning. They don't wonder what you truly meant. They submit to the sheer force of your certainty. The room becomes your kingdom because when you speak, it feels like a decision has been made, not a request. Your presence dominates the space. People stop questioning you. They stop trying to challenge you. They may not even understand why, but they start to adjust, shift, and align with your energy. And when you speak like this, everything falls into place.